here on the Joy Prime. My name is Michelle Agyekum. Today on our Ghana Month series, we bring you the mystery behind one of the oldest rites, death. Now, death happens the moment you stop breathing. In Ghana, the rituals that are performed to usher a person from the land of the living to the land of the dead differs from tribe to tribe. Now, in an account setting, when a person dies, the family sits with well-wishers a week after, and that is where they communicate the dates scheduled for the final funeral rites that will be held for the person. Today, we are here at Transitions, and of course, we will be witnessing the elaborate preparations, the intricate rituals, and the profound symbolism that marks the transition of a royal or a beloved mother-in-law in the Ashanti kingdom. And of course, we will be speaking to a cultural expert who will give us meanings to the items that are used in ushering the deceased. And so please stay tuned. So we're here at Transitions, and here is where we're having the climax of Heritage Month. You know that a number of corporate entities are also celebrating Ghana Month, and so here at Transitions, we have these, cultural items displayed here. I'm sure you're also wondering what exactly is going on, but the woman who knows it all when it comes to culture, Adwoa Yeboah, is here, and she'll be giving us everything that we need to know about what's going on here at Transitions. Hello, Adwoa.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, and it's so beautiful to meet you here.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, I'm actually glad I'm here, but we know that today at Transitions, we are actually displaying the cultural rites. I mean, the Ashanti rites, funeral rites, when it comes to burying a beloved mother-in-law. And so I'd like you to take us through the items that are here, the symbolisms and everything.
Okay, so this is a very typical Ashanti culture, tradition. We call it dotiye. You can call it dotiye. So in dotiye is mostly done for royals, elderly, and prominent people in the society. So the whole setup, we call it kwaye bibrim. Kwaye is forest. So you go to the forest, you see a lot of trees, leaves, and what have you. So that's why you can see we have a lot of leaves, the trees, we have the fountain, we have the giraffe, and then the tiger, because they are all in the forest. So when you come to the Ashanti culture, when a person passes on and the person is a royal, they say oko nekrechi, oko kwayem. So oko kwayem, there is no mansions, and we have forest, we have trees, we have wild animals, we have water, we have fountains in the trees. So that's why we come up with this kind of setup for the royals. So this, we call it kwaye bibrim. So because we are doing this one to represent an elderly woman, not a man, remember. So this one too is mostly done by the in-laws of the departed one, if she's a woman. So this whole thing, this we call it adoswa. Adoswa. Okay. So when you come to the Chi language, Ashanti language, say odo yaswa. Odo and yaswa. Into kwa Ashanti memo way obi elusi ni mother-in-law obe shishe. Your friend yawa brass pan. So you put this whole setup in the brass, but then you carry it to the funeral grounds. So you go and show it to everybody that you really loved your mother-in-law. You really valued her when she was alive. And so when she departs, you want to do something for everybody to know that you were in a very good terms with your mother-in-law. So we call it adoswa. As for the adoswa, the things we put together to get it there, I wouldn't want to go in that detail, so I'll just leave it. But you can see this brass pan, and this is srechi and kente, and this is double. duku or scarf, like the one you are wearing. And then this is like a crown. You can see the ladies here, they are also having the same thing, the red band. And then normally, traditionally, we are supposed to put cotton wool here to represent the eyes. But if I put them there right now, it will scare you people. So I intentionally removed it here. Look, I have it here.
Okay.
So normally we put them.
So this is like to represent the dead
The
person.
dead person, the woman, the mother-in-law. So you know, when you go to most of the Ashanti funerals, sometimes you can see them carrying this on their heads and they will be doing this. As if there's some spirits descending from somewhere, but mostly it's just a lie.
Oh.
Because in our traditional setup, we believe when you do this, it means, hey, the mother-in-law has accepted whatever she did for her. The soul, wherever she is, she's very happy. So if you don't wave and do your head like this, she didn't even appreciate whatever you were doing. So that's why sometimes we see them making that. And this represents a woman. So women, we normally cover our hair with double. So that's why we use this as a form of decoration. And you have something inside, about 2 or 3 items inside. There's a tree called Hridie. You would be a fan of Hridie. See the forest. And only a day, and only shame. And you didn't have bed, me and Sambi, some about 4, 3 items added in order to come up with this. But you can never put this on the floor or on just any other thing except in the brass pan, the yawa. And then this plate represents when she was alive.
Before you get to the plate, why do you use that particular tree?
The tree, you know, our elderly people, that's what they used to do. Most of them, we don't even understand it, but that's the tradition. That's what they were using it for. So most of them, we don't understand it and we cannot change it.
Okay.
We are just doing exactly as they were doing it in the olden days. Me, my grandmother used to do it. She would send me, go and bring these things. I really want to mention the names. I'll go and bring them. Go and fetch me this, I'll go and bring it. And then she'll put the whole thing together and then put it in this brass pan and then put these items, this for decoration, because women will normally put on beads, and then this is a kente. This kente is called Ashanti, and then this is shime. Shime, this is the traditional underwear. In the olden days, this is what women folks were using. So it's not like today where we have the G-string and those things. This is what they were using. And when they put on the beads around their waist, and then they will use this to cover themselves. So everything on this thing represents an elderly woman. So this is not fetish. This is not abosonsom. This is purely traditional. But nowadays, you know, some Christians or some people tell you, oh, no, me, I'm a Christian, so I don't do this, but this is not fetish. No. And then because she's an elderly woman, you have 2 options, that like to put it on this accessory or on a bed. Now, this is a corporate institution, so I didn't want to bring any bed here to come and scare people. So that's why I chose the accessory, the carved stool to put it on.
But you were talking about the plates, the reason we have the plates in there.
Okay, when my mother-in-law was alive, she normally eats from flat plates. Because in the olden days, you know, it was only the rich people, the prominent people who used to eat from these ones. Because they used to be very expensive. It was not common like these days. So they are older folks, they used to add these things to this. That's why we are still using it.
So do you necessarily have to use the plates she was using while alive?
Not exactly the same plate she was eating from, but you can use any other plate to use it, to do it, yeah.
But it has to be a white plate, like what she had?
It has to be a flat plate. But I guess normally they use white color. That's why I also use white. They use white color. So this is it. And then these ones are gifts, normally brought from the in-laws to their departed mother-in-law. So these beads for the waist and then for the neck. And these are cloth. They have different meanings. This is Diewusu, and this is Subura. And then this is Zamra Makete, and this one is Eniwa, or the eyeballs. Okay. And this one is Felicia. We call it Felicia. these days when you go to the market, you see all these cloths. They all have names. But in the olden days, these are the cloths our mothers used to wear. They are still there in the market. So that's why I bought those old types. All these ones. This is ABCD. This is Diaprogen from Mebu. This is gramophone power. They are all traditional cloths, and these ones are beads. So we present these ones in the brass pot as a gift to the departed mother-in-law. That's why we displayed all this. Okay,
so for the cloth, do the family of the deceased tell you, the daughter-in-law, that this is the particular kind of cloth we need?
No, they don't. They will just tell you we need a cloth, but the particular cloth, I guess you can choose it yourself.
Mm-hmm. And because we're talking about the typical Ashanti home or tribe, I was thinking that why don't we have a lot of gold, because we are known to have gold as Ashanti. Yeah. Why not gold necklaces and all of that, but beads?
Gold, real gold are mostly worn by the chiefs and the queen mothers, those ones. Okay. But the normal elderly people, they used to wear a lot of beads. And sometimes they mix the beads with the gold to make the necklaces and others. That's why we have few gold bracelets and necklaces here added to the beads. Yes. So maybe if she were to be a queen mother, maybe you would have bought a lot of gold necklaces and bangles and rings. Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about the dummy over there. What does it also stand for?
These ones are for decorative purposes. Oh, okay. It doesn't mean something, because we just put all these things together to represent a funeral. You can see the dummy is wearing a funeral cloth, yeah. So she's like somebody greeting people. Oh. Because when you go to a funeral grounds, you don't just go and then have a seat. No, you know, whenever you go to funerals, we greet people for everybody to see you are around before you can get your seat. So that's why she's greeting.
Mm-hmm. And then let's come to the women. They look beautiful, really.
Yes.
But I want to understand why they are dressed like this.
These are the close relatives or the departed woman. This one cannot be done by a friend, a colleague, or a neighbor. She has to be a blood relation. So maybe aunties, nephews, those people can do it. And then they are dressing. This doesn't have one name, but we can always give an explanation. This red cloth is just like the one you are wearing. We call it kobene. Kobene means red. And then they have their net, they have their band. This is a typical Ashanti funeral dressing for the close relatives. But whenever you see them seated on this mat, it means they are the close people, to the closest relative to the one who is dead. And then when they do this, they hold these leaves. This leaves is called sunsumasa. Sunsumasa drives away evil spirits. That's the belief. Whether it's true or not, me, I don't know. So that's why they are having it. And this one is called Nyenya. The Ga called Nyanyala, the Ga people. That's why this one also drives away evil spirits. So maybe when you see them dressed like this and want to attack them spiritually, because of this particular leaf, nothing can happen to them. You cannot do anything. So that's why they always have to protect themselves before they expose their chest and their arms to come and sit outside like this. And then this one is, we call it inchuma, this paint. How do I explain it? You know ants hail? It's here. Yeah. Yes. We get that sand and then we mix it with water and then do this decoration on their skin. And then this, you can see they have crossed these beads. They have two. These beads, it has a name. We call it Atobia. Atobia, what the betri moi? The case ene de asama to me. Nti to obiye nim. Say me mami ewu. And me papa ewu. No pen oye me nipa oboa me. Now she's gone. I don't have anybody again. And say many and to obiye nim. So whenever you see them wearing this one, it means now I'm finished. My mother or my father is gone.
It's more like a lonely person.
Yes, you're left alone in this world. So that's why they have Atobia on their necks. So
how about the snail shell put behind them? What does it also signify?
It doesn't signify anything particular, but it's part of the Atobia. Okay. The Atobia, you have this particular beast we use it for. No, see, you can never use this one for Atobia. It's not possible. It has to be something darker, like brown, like dark, like these dark colors. Those are the beads we can use it for that too. Yeah.
So you were talking about they using the leaves to suck bad spirits. So
to protect themselves.
So there's this belief that when a person dies at home, it means that there's a bad spirit that is lurking around the house. Is that the same spirit they're trying to protect themselves from?
Their departed mother will never come and hurt them. But we have evil spirits all over us. Maybe your enemy or your opponent can decide to maybe disgrace you, attack in front of everybody. So that's why they have this to protect themselves. And this one, this is raffia. They call it Noah. The tree name is Noah. The English name is raffia. You know the fetish priests, they use it around their waist. That one is called dosso. But the same raffia, they use the same raffia. But this one is Noah. The Noah is put here to maybe when there's house flies or anything, that you just use it to drive them away. But in the Ashanti setup, this thing is very resilient, very hard, and there are a lot. You can't even count them. So they were trying to tell Owuo that even if you kill more, we'll still give birth to more. Ukuma pema more. Yabasa will be maka home. And it's very hard. It's very hard. So they want to tell you that even though we are sad, we are not broken. Like we're still there. We are still strong. So that's why we use the Noah to wrap our hands and all those things.
So now I'm wondering, how long do they sit like this for?
During the funeral, maybe from around maybe 10 or 12 to 6 p.m. No, every funeral ends at 6 p.m. So when it's 6 p.m., they are done, they can just go home. Okay. But this one, as I explained, is normally done for prominent people, elderly people, quick mothers, and then our chiefs.
So we finally have the explanations to everything that is being displayed here. We're still here at Transitions, and here's where climaxing the Ghana Month celebration, the company decided, look, let's show the rich culture behind the funeral rites. And I'm sure you're wondering, why not any other type of rites but then funeral? And so the MD for Transitions, Genevieve Cornelius, is here and should give us the answer to this particular question. Good morning, Ma.
Good morning, and thank you and welcome to Transitions, the funeral people. As part of celebrating rich heritage, we decided to demystify funerals. Funerals have been part of us since creation, and it is filled with rich culture, rich heritage that depicts the lives of the people who are departed. So we said this month we have had a series of events, but let's climax it by depicting the royal burial. Okay, when our chiefs, our queens, and our traditional leaders depart this earth and they journey to the afterworld, what are some of the rich cultural things that are done for them to be able to send them off to the afterworld? And that is why we are having these royal setup here, depicting funerals of our royals, what we do for them.
But someone will be asking, why not Akan? We have a number of tribes or groups. You didn't do Fanti, you didn't do Ikuapem, you didn't do Achim. Why did you decide that let's focus on the Ashanti tribe?
Okay, thank you. Ashanti tribe, there was no actually a selection model that we used, but we believe that we have to start somewhere, and we know that Ashanti tribe is one of the richest tribes in the nation, and so we decided to start with that.
All right.
But I can promise you more are on the way coming.
All right, so someone will be asking, this lady keeps talking about transitions. What exactly is transitions? What do they do?
Transition the Funeral People. We are a funeral company that takes care of a 360-degree service and product, anything about funeral. We cater for all walks of life, from the royals to ordinary me and you, and to anyone. We believe every life is a good life, and every life deserves a goodbye. And if it must be done, we are the last to let you down, and we do it the way to celebrate the life of the person that has departed.
All right. Thank you very much, MD, for talking to us.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So you just heard from the MD of Transition, and she's told you everything you need to know and the reason why we're celebrating or depicting the Ashanti funeral rites. And also, you now know what Transition is and what they do.